We did the seat number thing. I sent an email with that. This half sheet, I don't know if our virtual people have seen this. I'll need to print this out and we'll take a picture of it. Any of you guys in here need a copy of this? So obviously ours is tomorrow. It says 8 a.m., but real quickly after that, arrive by 7:25 in the small gym. So even you virtual people, get here by 7:25. Some of you probably haven't seen 7:25 on your clock in months, but be at the small gym. I mean, right? Be at the small gym, in the small gym, ready to go at 7:25. If you know your seat number, great. If not, it'll be posted, I'm sure. Let's talk a little bit about the half sheet here, because a couple things are important. Bring a couple number 2 pencils. I'm sure they'll have extras, but they probably won't have, 200 extras. So bring your own with erasers, but only if you're going to make a mistake, right? If you're going to get it all right the first time, you don't need an eraser. No mechanical pencils. No mechanical pencils. So if you guys are a fan of them, like I usually am, that's fine, but no mechanical pencils. So it's got to be a good old-fashioned, old-school wooden pencil. Pens with black or dark blue ink for completing areas of the final exam booklet and free response questions in most exams. Most exams. So maybe bring a pen so you can write your name on the booklet or whatever. As far as free response questions, they are a little bit different this year. Just the formatting, and since you've never taken the AP test before, you may not even know this, but usually you get a booklet for the free response part, and you just write in the booklet, and that's your answer. It's the test question and the answer is all in one here, and you turn that back in. This year they've switched it up a little bit. You'll get a test booklet that you can write in, but you don't really want to write in that because they're going to give you an answer booklet to put your answers in. So be careful on the free response question. Like you can mark up the question booklet, but they're not grading that. They're only going to grade the answer book. So, I mean, if you're reading the problem statement and you want to underline things, that's fine. But anything you put in that book is not graded. The answer document, and part of this is they're grading from home again this year, so they'll scan them in and send them by email. So they're not even going to scan the question book. So anything you put in there won't ever be seen by anybody. So, if you're reading the question, if you're underlining or making notes to yourself, that's fine if it helps, but they're not grading that. So make sure everything you want graded in the answer booklet. Also in the answer booklet, you can use pencil. Just make sure it's legible. This isn't a problem for most of you. Make sure it's legible. Make sure it's dark enough because it's going to get scanned. And so you can use a pen, but most of you don't want to use a pen for math because that's just not how we work. Use a pencil for math. But don't be the person that that writes really so lightly that you can't read it, especially if it gets scanned in and then it misses something. So don't worry about it, but if you know you're a light writer, then just be a little more definitive in your work. You can bring 2 calculators if you want. The school doesn't provide them, so definitely bring one. This is calculus, but some of the other ones. If you have a backup, that's fine. Will you need one? Probably not. Maybe bring backup batteries or replace them tonight and make sure everything is ready to go. Just so, take all the guesswork out of it. Don't bring in the room mechanical pencils, correction fluid, dictionaries, highlighters. You wouldn't bring any of that. Rulers, straight edges. You don't need any of that. You really don't even need scratch paper because there's plenty of space to do your work. Calculators, you will bring those. Reference guides. Watches that beep or have an alarm, and no smartwatches. So that's one to be careful about because I bet some of you have smartwatches. So leave those either at home or in your backpack or whatever. Same with phones. Clothing with subject-related information. This is a big deal in previous years. We've done calculus shirts, and one year they had a whole bunch of formulas and stuff on the back. It's like, well, you can't wear that to the AP test because that would be helping, or at least it'd be helping the person behind you. No food or drink. That one's like, if you had a bag of goldfish, in your backpack to snack on, you'd probably be fine, or a bottle of water. So I don't know about how firm that one is. Do make sure that you have your school ID or a driver's license, but your school ID is the easiest. Usually we have the students just set their ID out on the table, right? You're in the small gym. You get a whole table to yourself. So you take your ID off, set it on the corner, and that way we can tell who's who. And I won't be in there, but they can tell who's who when they're in there. 7:25, 7:25, 7:25. Don't be late, because then it's a mess. So just be there. All right, that's enough talking about that.